So, thank you to everyone who's joined us here for this Tech Hub Fireside chat. Today we have the CEO and co-founder of Afriblocks. If you don't know about Afriblocks, I don't know where you've been, but this is one of those Zimbabwean startups that is doing some great things. They're in a space that we've all been crying for some sort of change, and they've taken the lead. They're the first Zimbabwean startup to make it into Techstars. So congrats, Afriblocks, about that. And overall, they're an amazing business, and I think Tongayi is going to take us through what their vision is, how they got to where they're going, and hopefully give everyone some great advice that you can use for yourselves as you grow your business. So, Tongayi, thank you for joining us here. We're honored.
Sure.
We're honored to have you. This is an honor given what you guys have done in such a small period of time.
Sure. Thanks for having me, and appreciate the invite.
Yeah, so I think we can just kick it off. Like, what is the why, and what drove you guys to start Afriblocks, yourself and Roger?
So my story is a bit organic because I was working as a lead software developer for a remittance platform based in Washington D.C. and in Zimbabwe. So out in the USA and Zimbabwe, Spain, going to conferences, talking about our product. And what started to happen was, whenever you go to a conference, you're talking about, how you're a software developer. The next question is, I actually have a product. I actually am looking for a software developer. I have this idea that can I bounce it, off you? And what was going on was initially I would say no because I didn't have the time, but I started to just say, why not connect this person with people that I know back home? Because when you come back here, obviously people would ask, can you connect us with opportunities and everything? That's when I say, what, there are two people who are looking to connect. Let me connect them. So I just started doing that, on WhatsApp, and I created a WhatsApp group, and in 3 months it grew to like 600 people just looking for jobs from me. That's when I said, um, there's a need here on both sides of the marketplace because it's a two-sided marketplace. There are people looking for jobs, and there are people looking for service providers. So that's when I reached out to Roger, my co-founder, because we'd worked together before. During that time, he's based in LA and I'm based in Zimbabwe. So we would meet, we would go to different platforms talking about our products. So I reached out to him and showed him, the work that I've been doing on the side, because that time was just, me. And he instantly got interested. And fast forward March 2020, that's when I left my full-time job to do this, full-time. Because everything was taking off, and then Roger followed, I think 2 months later, because right now we've been full-time about 7 months in, and that's really how this started. And that the why, I would say, it's really, I was really passionate about this. I ended up really, the fact that you see someone getting paid from someone else, in the UK, and being able to do their to pay their bills in Blawayo and Harare through our connection was something that was really powerful for me, because in Zimbabwe we still have problem with finding jobs, and I've seen a lot of people that are way amazing, that are super great in the work, be it design, software development, but they just don't have the opportunities. So that has really been my why, to say, what, this is something that's solving a real challenge, solving a real problem, because in IT or in startups, it's really easy to start something that's not solving anything for anyone. But here is something that's really not just for Zimbabwe, not just for South Africa, but for the rest of the continent, because we are getting into an age of the future of work where the way people are working is changing, and we see that we are we're in a unique space. We're in the forefront to be able to make this change.
Okay, so you started in March, right? And that coincided with COVID.
Yeah, so
I mean, you started full like properly full
I
time,
did.
but so this is probably like a two-part question. So
Yeah.
one, what were the challenges before you actually started Afriblocks? And two, were you a bit worried about when COVID hit, how it may affect your business, positive or negative initially?
So it so happened like literally, I think 2 weeks from the time that I left my other job to do this full time. That's when COVID, we got the whole lockdown. And the first lockdown was really like full lockdown, like no one's going
Yeah.
out. And
So that must have been a bit scary for
I
you.
would
I
say
can imagine.
it was not, and the reason being, I was like, you know what, I'm starting an online business, and everyone is moving online.
Yeah.
So it was unfortunate, no one likes a pandemic. That was really an unfortunate time. It still is. But my thoughts on the business side was, this is the time for me to really push and see, does this work or not? And everyone is moving online. Everyone is literally, working from their laptop, working from home, which is part of our thesis for freelancers, that you can do this from anywhere you are. You can get paid. You can literally, because freelancing is now moving to more like an actual full-time job where you don't have to be employed anywhere else and just, do this gig economy every day.
Yeah.
So when COVID started, that was like the time that we really pushed a lot. That's when we did a lot of ads, we did a lot of campaigns, and yeah, that I guess that's my answer to that. And the challenges were, people learning, people were also catching up. Um, to say, what, I'm now working online. People also scared, but we had some campaigns that were saying, what, this is the time for you to work on that dream that you've always had. This is the time for you to build that website that you always wanted to build, and now you're at home, and we are here to help. So we had some clever advertising around that, and that really helped.
And
Also calm people down to say, what, I'm home, and what can I be doing that can also help. Yeah, go ahead.
hello.
Hello,
Yeah, man.
Simba. Yeah, you can go ahead.
Okay, and then did you face resistance from the market? What kind of resistance did you face from the market?
I think because we're like really we're small at that stage. Resistance is always there, challenge is always there, a lot of them, and I had to like work 24/7. Literally, I remember I was working from 6 a.m. to 3 a.m. every day for like 3 months. Who are we targeting? Who's our customer? Where are we going to get the money to stay afloat? Because that time we was still bootstrapping, from my savings, and yeah, it was a lot that we had to figure out, because early on I was on my own, and then Roger came on, which was great, because he kind of helped me, through that process. Yeah.
Okay. So fast forward to 2021. You're now the first Zimbabwean startup to be accepted into Techstars. Like, how did that come about, and what has that done for your business over this short period of time?
So Techstars was really something that's amazing. And what happened was we during that point, I was applying to a lot of programs, doing a lot of campaigns, telling people about the work that we're doing, and I received a lot of no's. I would say at least like maybe 40 places that we applied. That would say, not at this stage. Maybe we can talk later, and all sorts of replies. And we applied to a platform called Transparent Collectives, which is a platform that supports Black founders and women founders and Latin founders as well. So we went there. It was a week program, and we pitched our business. They would help you, on how to talk about your business. They will help you on a pitch deck. They will help you on, business model, how to improve it. So it was just 5 intense days. And the last day you'd pitch. One of the investors was the managing director of Techstars, Tongayi Choto. So he was really interested in our business at that stage, and he invited us to apply for that Techstars program. We it was really intense because you go through interviews, you go through I think there are about 4 stages. And at each stage they'll tell you that you proceeding to the next stage.
Mm.
And you can imagine how that is, because you have to wait a week for a response, wait another week, and finally they told us that they accept about 1% of their applicants to pick 10 companies, and out of those 10 companies, Afriblocks was one of them. And that was really, an amazing and, great moment. And, the crazy thing is I didn't realize it until, later on, to say, we're probably the first